Hey there, ghouls and gals. Welcome back to Cafe Crashdown. I am your host, Kayla, and today we are diving into one of my all-time favorite tales from the Universal Monsters universe, Frankenstein's creature. I've always been drawn to this tragic story from the misunderstood monster, the weirdo who doesn't quite fit in, which, let's be real, a lot of us can relate to. There's something profoundly human about feeling like you don't belong, and that's what makes Frankenstein's story so timeless and powerful. But what makes it even more thrilling is that we're entering a whole new era for this iconic tale. One with a new film adaptation by the legendary Guillermo del Toro. So grab your favorite horror novel, maybe some tea, and let's talk about why Frankenstein's creature continues to capture our hearts and nightmares across generations. But before we dive into all things monsters, I want to give a quick shout out to today's sponsor. Calling all horror lovers and Gothic history buffs. This one's for you. Imagine spending the days leading up to Halloween exploring the very lands that inspired Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. Our friends at Mysterious Adventures Tours is bringing this legendary tale to life with their Frankenstein's Halloween, Switzerland, and Germany tour. This 10-day journey is a haunting deep dive into the origins of Frankenstein, from the misty shores of Lake Geneva, where Mary Shelley first conceived her iconic monster, to the shadowy castles and Gothic landmarks of Germany. You'll step into the world of romantic horror, where eerie beauty and chilling history collide. Trace the steps of Mary Shelley, Percy Shelley, and Lord Byron in the Geneva region, and uncover the secrets of Heidelberg Castle and the mysterious Black Forest. Along the way, you'll explore ancient ruins, haunted cemeteries, and atmospheric towns that seem frozen in time. And the highlight of the journey? A freaking Halloween bash at none other than Frankenstein's castle itself. Celebrate the season of spooks in one of the most legendary settings in Gothic horror. It's a once-in-a-lifetime event that will have you raising a glass, perhaps with a ghostly companion. And because you are part of the Cafe Crashdown crew, you get an exclusive $100 off your booking. Just use the code CRASHHUB100 at checkout. Spots are limited, so definitely don't wait, and head over to mysteriousAdventurestours.com to reserve your spot. Now, let's make this Halloween season one you will never forget. Now, I've got to tell you, Frankenstein's creature isn't just a monster to me. He's a reflection of many of our own experiences. I think a lot of us can relate to that feeling of being othered, right? That sense of not fitting into society's neat little boxes. Personally, I've always had an affinity for characters who defy expectations, and Frankenstein's creature does just that. Despite his terrifying appearance, he's one of the most human characters in literature, searching for love, acceptance, and a sense of purpose. What's so powerful about this character is that he embodies something that we all know too well, the feeling of being misunderstood and of yearning for a place to belong. I think we've all felt like outsiders at some point, whether because of how we look or where we come from or how we think. The creature in his tragic journey becomes a symbol of the human condition, a being made with the best intentions only to be left to face the world full of rejection. And that's why Frankenstein's story has resonated with us for centuries. It's not just about the monster, it's about the complexities of humanity, what it means to be truly seen and loved. But now that we have gotten into the heart of why the story strikes such a chord with me, let's dive into why Frankenstein's creature continues to captivate audiences across generations, and why, even today, we can't help but be drawn to his tragic tale. And let's not forget that Frankenstein is one of the cornerstones of Gothic literature. The dark, moody atmosphere of the novel, paired with the themes of isolation, science, and the supernatural, perfectly captures the Gothic spirit. It's a genre that's about exploring the darkness within humanity and the consequences of pushing boundaries. From Dracula to the picture of Dorian Gray, the Gothic genre has given us characters and stories that delve into the dark side of the human nature. And Frankenstein's creature is the ultimate tragic figure within that world. What's so great about Gothic horror is that it doesn't just rely on jump scares. It's psychological, okay? It's about the slow descent into madness. I'm saying this because people don't understand this with horror, okay? The guilt and regret that can haunt a person, or in this case, a monster. It's a perfect blend of horror and emotional depth. So, Frankenstein's creature was born from the brilliant mind of Mary Shelley in the early 19th century. The story was conceived during the famous summer of 1816, known as the Year Without a Summer, when Mary, Percy Shelley, and Lord Byron were staying in a villa at Lake Geneva. After a challenge to create ghost stories, Shelley gave us this haunting tale of a man who defies nature and the tragic consequence that follows. The novel Frankenstein, or as many like to call it, the modern Prometheus, was published in 1818 and has since captivated readers and inspired countless adaptations. One of the reasons why the story resonates so deeply with me and with so many others is because of its themes of isolation and rejection. Frankenstein's creature isn't inherently evil, but he's abandoned by his creator, left to navigate the world that fears and misunderstands him. That sense of being an outsider, a weirdo with no place in the world, is something a lot of us have felt at one point or another. It's also a powerful reflection of humanity's attempts to play God and the chaos that can unfold when we meddle with forces beyond our control. And we can't talk about Frankenstein without mentioning the groundbreaking 1931 film adaptation directed by James Whale and starring the iconic Boris Karloff as the creature. Karloff's portrayal transformed Frankenstein's creature into one of the most iconic monsters in cinematic history. With Jack Pierce's unforgettable makeup, those heavy lids, the square head, the bolts in the neck, Karloff brought a tragic depth to the character. The creature wasn't just a monster, he was a symbol of pain, loneliness, and rejection. This version of Frankenstein was a huge success and kicked off the Universal Monsters era, because then we got The Bride of Frankenstein in 1935, also directed by Whale, and some argue it's even a better film. I would love to know your thoughts in the comments below. The addition of the bride, played by Elsa Lanchester, and her famous rejection hiss became an unforgettable moment in horror. It's incredible that Frankenstein's creature continues to evolve with every generation. And with Guillermo del Toro now working on his own Frankenstein adaptation, I'm beyond excited to see this visionary director reimagine such a classic tale. Toro is known for giving his monsters soul and humanity, so I can't wait to see his take on Frankenstein's creature. Filming the original Frankenstein definitely wasn't easy. Boris Karloff spent hours in the makeup chair each day as Jack Pierce meticulously applied layers of prosthetics. It was a grueling process, but it was worth it because Karloff's version of the creature became the definitive look for Frankenstein's monster. And another cool fact, Frankenstein's creature never actually has a name in the novel. While many call him Frankenstein, that is not right, okay? That is the creator, Dr. Victor Frankenstein's name. This plays into the theme of abandonment. He's nameless, left to navigate a world that wasn't prepared for him. And you know that scene where the creature's trapped in that burning windmill? Let's just say that fire safety protocols in the 1930s weren't quite what they are today, and Karloff had a few close calls. Frankenstein's creature has become more than just a symbol of fear. He's a reflection of our struggles with belonging, isolation, and the unintended consequences of our actions. The story of Frankenstein explores humanity's desire to create and control life, and the havoc that endures when we go too far. This character has appeared in every medium you can think of, from films and TV to comic books and theater. He's been reimagined in hilarious parodies like Young Frankenstein and reinvented in shows like Penny Dreadful, which is one of my favorite shows. We will be talking about that in the future. don't you worry. Yet no matter how many times he's adapted, that core tragedy of Frankenstein's creature, the need for love and acceptance, never goes away. It's what makes the story so timeless. And now with Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein on the horizon, it's clear that this character's legacy is far from over. I'm sure Del Toro will bring that perfect balance of horror and empathy to his version of Frankenstein's creature. As someone who is always connected with the story, I am beyond thrilled to see it come alive again. Frankenstein's creature has haunted us for over 2 centuries, and his story is as relevant today as ever. Whether you're a fan of Boris Karloff's classic portrayal, or you're just as excited as I am for Guillermo del Toro's upcoming version, Frankenstein's creature will always be a symbol of misunderstood monsters. He's the ultimate outsider, and that's why he remains so relatable. But before we go, I want to hear your thoughts on Frankenstein's creature. Has this tragic monster always captivated you too? And what do you think about Guillermo del Toro doing this whole new version of Frankenstein, bringing it to life? Let's chat. Tell me about it in the comments below. And hey, if you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a like, hit that subscribe button, ring that bell so you never miss another spooky adventure here at Cafe Crashdown. Until next time, ghouls and gals, stay spooky and keep exploring the dark side of cinema. Take care.